Hello, nation citizens. Welcome. It's part 2 of the nation lesson that Room 103 is preparing for everyone. I thank Mr. Silverman for doing the pages that are related to the 3 branches of government: executive, legislative, and judicial. Well done lesson. First, let me just start by saying hello to everyone. Hello to citizens in room 102. Hello to citizens in room 103. Hello to citizens in room 104. Hello to citizens in room 171. Welcome. This lesson concludes or completes the work you've been doing in this book, I Know My Nation. I hope you liked the new format of having everything in here included instead of gluing in. It seems to have worked for everyone. And so thank you for your participation and helping us try it out. So I think we will continue with that. I Know My Nation. We have this page. I live in the United States of America. I live in the state of Washington. I live in King County. I live in the city of Seattle. I live in the neighborhood of Bryant. I know Mr. Jones did great work in this, the political map of the United States of America, coloring in the evergreen state. Green, of course. And then I saw the great work that he and you did with the physical map. The Mississippi River, the mountains, the Great Plains, and of course the compass map, the compass rose, which is on every map to help with directions. And then, Ms. Confer stepped in on these pages. Our government has 3 branches to help our country. And there they are: legislative, executive, and judicial. We were pleased to see the work that people did around the pages about our new president, Joe Biden. Joe Biden is our new president. He is our 46th president. He believes in science. Jill Biden is a teacher. That's really exciting to have what they're called a first lady, who's a teacher and an active teacher. We used to have a first lady, Laura Bush, who was a librarian, but she was not a librarian when she was the president's wife, or called first lady. Jill Biden is the president's wife. She is called the first lady, and she's still teaching now at a college and university. This page, the historical arrival of our first woman vice president, and as she so proudly states, she won't be the last. She is the first, but she won't be the last. That's wisdom right there in her words. Kamala Harris, Kamala Harris is our new vice president. She is our first woman vice president. She believes in science. Doug Emhoff is her husband. This is the page we will work on today. But I just wanted to read the whole book because I'm so proud of your accomplishments. This great page with symbols of our nation: the Great Seal, Lady Liberty, Squanto, a First Peoples leader and chief, and New York State. A song I know you worked on, My Country 'Tis of Thee. And I see that you did great word work with this page. Some people consider the lyrics or words to a song to be a poem. And so this can be considered a poem put to music, or it can be considered a song. And I can see so much work here. Punctuation, images, and underlining of words. Mr. Silverman worked on these pages with you. The President lives and works at the White House. You can find it at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue Northwest in Washington, D.C. And as he mentioned, people all over the world know the address of the White House, 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. On this page, something Washington State can be proud of is that we have 2 senators, both of whom are women. Every state, all 50 states, have 2 senators, and we have 2 women. U.S. Senator Patty Murray and U.S. Senator Maria Cantwell. The U.S. Congress works at the U.S. Capitol. And the last page that you worked on in the book is this one, called The Supreme Court, the United States Supreme Court. Justices work here to help with U.S. laws. And I thought there might have been time to talk about these 3 Supreme Court decisions, because they are decisions, as all of the decisions are at the Supreme Court, that affect us, all of us, every day. I might do another video on another day and explain them as an optional, because these cases, Bradwell versus Illinois in 1873, Nix versus Hedden in 1893, and Brown versus Board of Education in 1954, are 3 interesting and influential cases. What I'd like to do is to have you come back to this page right now. When I was searching for images, I was looking for something that would show the entire United States in a different way. Things that parts of our country are well known for. And we have such a big nation with so many different places. There's 50 parts to it, 50 states, plus the cities and the counties and the people and the products. And so I was so grateful when I was able to find this map. It copied pretty well, if you look carefully and closely. And there's just so many interesting parts that I thought it would be fun to just look at some of them today together. It's kind of like a search for noteworthy items or icons from different parts of the country. So I'm going to hold the camera over the page and then name places and things that would be good for you to find. And then when you do, you can circle them with a pencil or a crayon or a marker to just know some of the places that are also well known. In that area, some of those places are known in the United States and some are known around the world. If you're ready to begin, please get a pencil or your crayon bag or your marker bag ready, and then we'll start searching. Let's travel and visit the United States of America. I'm going to move my camera over and hold it here so we can see the page together. It'll make it easier for me to work with you here. Okay, the first thing I'm going to start with, I'm going to use the color green because this is a green thing in real life. You traced and wrote this name on the page with Ms. Sorensen. It's something that is in the state of New York, although New Jersey likes to claim credit for part of it, because this statue is in the water on an island called Ellis Island between New York and New Jersey. If in your search here you can think you can find, okay, I'll give you a hint. It's on this part of the continent, this part of the nation. Some people call her Lady... Yeah, you got it right, Lady Liberty. She is right there. Lady Liberty. She's right there by New York and New Jersey. So I'm going to put just a green circle around that because in real life, that's the color of her covering. I think it's pronounced patina. Lady Liberty, right by New York City and New Jersey. Okay, let's do some searching. Crunch. And a day keeps the doctor away, people say. Something crunchy. There are many different colors. The big colors are, when people think of this fruit, are red ones or green ones or yellow ones. If you think you know what I'm suggesting and searching for, I'll give a hint. It's on this part of the map. Yes! I'm going to take red because that's one of the common colors. Right over there. Apples. Washington State apples, exactly, are a famous product of Washington State. Other states grow them too, but Washington apples have a very good reputation as being crunchy, healthy, and fresh. They're actually sold all over the world. People in other countries pay very high prices for Washington apples, and we're so lucky because they are right here in our state, Washington. Okay, next one. Cars need these. Vehicles need these to travel. Cars have 4 of them. Trucks sometimes have more. And they are cylinders. Since we just finished geometry, I'll give you a hint. It's in the middle of the country. They're made of rubber on the outside, and then there's steel and metal parts. Yes, you saw it already. It's tires. Tires. Where the rubber meets the road, people talk about when they talk about things getting real. I'm going to circle that with black because the tires are usually black. In the middle of the country, Ohio. I think Akron, Ohio is the place where tires are famous for. And there's several companies that made them. Goodrich Tires, Goodyear Tires are companies that produce tires. Thinking of transportation, that's transportation that stays on the ground. There's a part of our country that is famous for having festivals. Festivals where, I don't know, well, I wonder if you would do this. You get into a basket, a big people-sized basket, and then that's tied down to the ground when you are there on the ground. And then, yes, and then helpers release some weights, and that basket goes up away from the ground because that basket is attached to... Can you find it? Yes, right there. A hot air balloon. I'm going to pick a bright color. I think I'll pick orange this time. Hot air balloons. There are festivals where people go and watch hot air balloons rise into the sky. They're called hot air balloon festivals. And then people can take rides in them. You pay money to the operator, and safety measures are taken into account, and then that driver is able to let the hot air balloon rise up, and then it floats around in an area so you can see down, kind of like a bird's eye view. And then they have special ways of bringing the balloon back down to the ground. Hot air balloons. Okay, let's do some more searching. What else can you find? Let's look for an animal this time. This is an animal with large, flat antlers. They're found all over the country, in the northern part of the country. So let's look across here, in the northern part of the country. The first letter is an M, so it means its name is going to start with the sound. state this picture is in right now is also an state, the state of Maine. Washington is in the top left corner, or northwest. The northeast corner is over here in Maine. And there's a moose there. I think I'll use brown. They're often brown colored animals. A moose right here. A moose in Maine. 2 M words. A moose in Maine. Right, okay. Let's see. Oh, okay. They are all over the country, these buildings and these workers. But the picture here has it in the middle of the country because this is considered land. Some people call it kind of the breadbasket of the United States because this is where much farming happens. Can you find a tractor and a barn? Tractor and a barn here. In the middle of the country, right over here, yes. Kind of Iowa, Nebraska, South Dakota, right here. You can pick a color. I think I'll use red. Because barns are often red. I'll circle the tractor and the barn that are there. Oh, and right nearby, in South Dakota, if you look right above that, there's an oval picture, oval geometry, of 4 presidents. That's called Mount Rushmore. It's a beautiful, large sculpture carved into a mountainside. And it has 4 presidents. Washington, Jefferson, Roosevelt, and Lincoln right here. If you look online, you can see a much better picture in real life. This is a small photograph. Right here. Mount Rushmore. I'm going to put a check by that one because I just talked about that. Mount Rushmore. I've seen it once. It is quite magnificent to see. It's an impressive sculpture. And nearby, there is another sculpture to honor First Peoples and one of their leaders. His name was called Crazy Horse, and he was a leader who supported and fought for his people's rights and safety. And there's a mountain carving nearby that is also quite stunning to see. Okay, a little bit of searching here. Oh, there's the Statue of Liberty. And nearby in Philadelphia, there's another liberty symbol. When people talk about ringing with liberty, they are thinking, yeah, okay, you saw it already. Okay, you found it. Yes, you found the Liberty Bell. The Liberty Bell. Such a good story about the Liberty Bell and the cracks and trying to fix it. The Liberty Bell is a representative symbol of our nation. I'm going to use brown because the real Liberty Bell is kind of bronze, which is brownish color. That's in the state of Pennsylvania, in the city of Philadelphia. And its history or legend is, while ringing for liberty, the bell cracked. Well, part of that is kind of true, but the deep story about it is the number of times it cracked and the number of times they tried to repair it. It's in Philadelphia, and you can go very close to seeing it, almost within touching distance. It's a beautiful symbol of our nation, the Liberty Bell. Let's take a look at something else. There's an instrument called a saxophone. An instrument called a saxophone. I'll give a hint. It's down here in the south part. There's a city called New Orleans. New Orleans, some people say, the local way it sounds, New Orleans. And it is famous for its jazz music. There's okay, you saw it already right there, the saxophone. Saxophone is representing the instruments and the music of Louisiana, and especially New Orleans, or Nowlands. I'm going to circle that with yellow because the saxophones are kind of goldish color. Right there. So many interesting pictures here to take a look at in our nation. I'll give you the chance to do some looking and observing and spending some time. There's the skier. There's the big arch. There's animals. There's a lighthouse. An airplane where the first airplane in the United States was flown. There's a riverboat for Mississippi. I could spend such a long time helping you find interesting pictures in here. And I hope you will take some time for yourself to do the same. I found this image and map interesting. I hope you like it. Thanks so much for coming to Nation. Glad to see you. Take care of you. And we'll see you with our next unit. Our first unit in this series of lessons is I Know My Nation. The next unit is called I Know My State. And our lessons that the teachers will be preparing and demonstrating and showing you will all be about Washington State, our state. I know my state of Washington. Thanks, everyone. Take care. Bye.